Max Magazine is all about having an unforgettable experience when you get married. Our first story takes us to a world of flowers and designing your perfect bouquet. Then food is on the menu, and the perfect wedding cake is the highlight of the night. All of the wonders of the day are then immortalized in photographic memories, from bridal preparations to dancing the night away at the reception. Hello and welcome to another edition of Max Magazine. I'm your host, Brad Grass, and today's episode is all about weddings. Well, yeah, it's that time of year. So I'm on my way right now to meet, holy smoke! Oh, I'm in heaven. Scout, check this out. Oh, yeah, I think, Scout, I think we're gonna like this episode. This is the guy we want to meet. This is Derek Engen. How you doing there,
Nice to meet you, Brad. Very good, thank you.
This gentleman right here, this handsome man, is the owner of Carpe Diem Limousine Service. So first of all, thank you for letting us be here today.
Thank you.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So first I have to ask you, Carpe Diem, was that your brainchild?
Yes, it was. Seize the day, live for the moment.
Yeah.
Perfect for weddings.
What better way to seize the day, right?
Absolutely.
A beautiful limousine service. How long have you been doing this?
A year and a half.
Okay. And what is it, Derek, that got you into the limousine business?
Passion for, limos. Everybody loves limos.
Oh, yeah. And I imagine like everyone's happy too. I mean, who wouldn't be happy?
Absolutely, perfect. It's parties, it's weddings, anniversaries, absolutely.
Living the life. Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask you, you'd know, do people still decorate limousines, whether it's for weddings or for whatever occasion, like with the flowers and stuff on them? Or?
Somewhat, maybe not as much anymore with the plastic and.
Right. See, that's where this could change, right? Don't use the plastic, use real flowers. See, that would look sweet.
That would be good.
And smell a lot better too. In fact, there's a place in Weyburn, a flower shop. Oh man, I mean, they do flowers for all kinds of occasions, but weddings are their specialties. Oh yeah, they do bouquets that just take a bride's breath away.
Weddings range so much in not just the style of the flowers, but in the size of the wedding and so many different variables. I've done weddings where they're very simple. It's just the bride and the groom, and they're in a backyard or with a justice of the peace, but want some flowers to carry. And I've done some beautiful table arrangements for extravagant weddings, but most of them are not too extravagant. But I love doing them all. I like the variety. The shop was owned at one time by my mother-in-law. She wasn't my mother-in-law then because that was over 50 years ago. She and my aunt worked for her, so I used to come down and visit and watch the ladies. It was tiny then, it was so small, it was only up to this first wall, and the ladies worked in the basement, so it's expanded a lot over the years. Handheld is a little more common now, but over the years the Cascade is probably one of the most common, most popular, and has more longevity. It's been around for a long time. It's not going to go anywhere, I don't think. And then there's also the arrangements done in a holder where there is a water source and they last a little longer. You have a little more flexibility with them than you do with a handheld arrangement. You can make them go different directions, where in a handheld they're all gathered and bound. So If you want to do something really different, really unique, you might want to do it in a holder. There's not very many that won't last the day. As long as they're properly cared for, almost all flowers will last the day. The consultation, we look at pictures. I ask her about her ideas, her colors. I help her choose the flowers in her color range and the style that she would like. Some of them are already have pretty much what they want in their mind, and I go with that. But a lot of them want guidance and want suggestions. Come on back, Jen. There's not all flowers come in the same colors, so if they've got a color scheme going, we try to go with their color scheme and different things that will not only complement their color scheme, but blend as well. So. And of course we've got Mr. Important Blair.
I came in here with no idea whatsoever of what I wanted or anything, and I talked to Val and she helped me out, and she was very knowledgeable about what types of flowers I should get and what goes good together, and she helped me out a lot. Well, that's pretty.
You like?
I love.
Yeah?
It's perfect.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I've had brides cry when they come in and see their flowers for the first time, and that emotion makes you know you've done your job properly. And I always go to great lengths to make sure that my bride is happy with her flowers and she gets what she was looking for. So it's what you expected?
It is.
Yeah? Great.
It's everything you told me it would be.
Yeah.
This. Hey, this is beautiful. The lights and they got a beautiful sound system. You can just crank. How long is this stretch limo, Derek?
35 feet.
35 feet. Okay. Now, how many limos do you have in your fleet?
We have 4.
Okay.
Car, this, and then 2 party buses.
Okay. So a party bus. I like the sound of that. And how many drivers?
About 8 drivers.
8 drivers. Okay. So, and how many does this one seat?
This one seats 18.
18 people. Have you had 18 people in here?
Oh yeah, a lot more than that.
Oh really? Really? Okay, now you be the guy to know. I bet you got some great stories. What's the craziest story?
Oh man, you know what happens in the limo stays in the limo. So,
stays in the limo. That's a golden rule. That's never broken. Okay, well, fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what. Actually, I have a dream of my own. I know you can help me out on this. Hold that thought for just a second. I'll tell you what you guys can check out. Going in style on any special occasion is important, but so is food. You gotta eat, right? So why don't you guys check out what our caterer and cake makers are up to? What do you think the odds are of me getting behind the wheel? Huh? Hey? What do you think? Yeah? Yeah.
Picnics came about 8 years ago. I decided to start my own business, and what it was I'd worked at a few other places around the city, around the province, around Alberta as well as Saskatchewan, and I just found that whatever position I was in, there was just a limit of creativity, and I decided that the only way that I could have the creative freedom that I really craved was to have my own business. My background, my training, I actually took a commercial baking program at NATE in Edmonton, which I completed about 15 years ago, and then I went on to do my journeyman's. So I am a Red Seal journeyman baker. My passion went more into the fine pastry end of the industry, and I trained with a number of fantastic pastry chefs, actually worldwide, and really honed my talent for wedding cakes. My career has taken me to a variety of different countries, as well as all across Canada. I have worked in Cape Town in South Africa, I worked in a job contract in Bermuda, and I've worked all across Canada. We're working with lots of different mediums these days. There's lots of really fun products to work with for wedding cakes that were never available 10 years ago. And I think that's really thanks to a lot of these, Food Network channels and that kind of thing, where they're showing a lot of these very edgy designs and techniques, and now those products are available to cake makers, so we can work with a lot more interesting mediums. When brides and grooms come to me with their ideas for cakes, there's everything from maybe what the bride's wedding dress looks like, to some clippings from magazines that they've seen, to things they've seen on other websites, and it's sort of accumulation of all of those different things. So we'll look through some of the cakes that I've done in the past and sort of roll all those into a fresh idea, so that every wedding does have a very unique cake. Every tier of every cake can be a different combination of a cake flavor or a sponge flavor, as well as a filling flavor. From the outside you can't tell the difference, but on the inside you can really have fun. So if you're having a 4 or a 5 tier cake, you can really have fun with a lot of different combinations. I guess as time went on with our business, we got bigger and bigger into our catering, and we started doing larger events, including weddings. And the great thing about with us being able to do catering for weddings is that we also can do the wedding cakes. So it really makes us sort of a one-stop shopping for all food needs for weddings. We also, of course, have the opportunity to be on site, so we can be serving the cake and making sure that everyone is, aware of what sort of flavors are going on in the cake. We can kind of go from every sort of style, formality that's desired. For instance, we can do a very sort of simple country-style barbecue, all the way up to a fancier 5-course dinner, where each course is served and cleared. So our food really does run the gamut of virtually all these sort of ethnic groups, and we're really proud to incorporate lots of different flavors. Another really important thing is that there's a lot of dietary needs that are coming out that we have never seen before. So a lot of gluten-free cooking is required now, as well as a lot of attention to allergies, which is something that we deal with virtually at every single wedding. So we're very comfortable doing that. We're very confident when we promise a gluten-free meal that it is as such. With our catering company, we do get to try on a lot of different hats. We do everything from the weddings to other forms of caterings, from wine and cheese events where we've got our bartenders on site, where we've got plattered service where we're walking around with the hors d'oeuvres and that kind of thing. We kind of just sort of we listen to what the client is needing. So whether they just want us to drop off some great food, set it up, and sort of get out of their way, that's perfectly fine. Some they do, of course, want us to stay on site and manage with service, and we, of course, are happy to do that. Our clients are always very, very happy with the level of service and the quality and quantity of food that is provided. We really pride ourselves on that because we know that word of mouth is so very important. We want our customers to be as happy as possible. Future plans for picnics, essentially, let's just keep on doing what we're doing.
Hi!
Hey!
This baby's long. Okay, I'm gonna do a wide turn here. How long did you say this thing was?
35 feet.
All right. Whoa! So far, so good. All right, how you doing? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Wow, this is so cool. I say, straddling the melon. Once more around the park, Jeeves, and then head for home. Yes. Oh, that was so cool, Derek. You helped me fulfill a lifelong dream of mine. I've always wanted to drive a stretch limo, and now I can say that I have. But I was fortunate. I lucked out. I just have a regular driver's license. Is there any kind of special training that your chauffeurs have to go through?
Well, there is actually, and by the way, you did very well. You didn't take out any curbs. All of our drivers have to have a Class 4 license or better with the government. We're registered with the National Safety Council, so everything has to be safetied periodically. So yeah, absolute safety is number one.
Now, weddings, of course, are popular this time of year, but what are some other events, functions that you cater to?
Well, the weddings are great. We love those. Of course, those lead to anniversaries, and of course the stags and stagettes before then, and sporting events, concerts, birthdays. I love the 13-year-old birthdays, the 8-year-old birthdays.
Oh,
those
yeah,
are just a blast.
And I suppose you'll get recurring, like anniversaries, that once they get married and they'll come back for anniversaries and things like that. You get recurring customers?
We're hoping they're coming back 50 times.
Now, pictures, of course, are popular. Does anybody ever use your limousines as part of their picture, their wedding picture, anniversary picture?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody wants a picture, their memento of their limo.
Oh, yeah. And why wouldn't you, right? They're really sexy machines. And you know what? I know just the photographer who can get the job done.
I want you guys standing together. Todd, I want your arms on Lynette. Lynette, I want your arms maybe around his neck, and I just kind of want you guys cuddling a little bit, and I'm just gonna do sort of a lap, and then we'll go from there. So don't mind me, don't worry about me, and just sort of be you guys, be cute. It all just kind of happened. I've always had a passion for photography. As a kid, I was always the sibling running around with my camera. I was taking pictures of everything. Perfect. So it wasn't even something that I was meaning to do and that I would want to go out and need to have my camera with me. It just happened. When I started my studio, awesome. It was really important to me when I started my own photography company that I could have a studio space so I could be there for people at different times in their lives and kind of become their family photographer. Start maybe with their boudoir or the engagement pictures, and then their maternity and their firstborn, and then get the family pictures and stuff like that. So, and Lynette looking at Todd. Perfect. I like being able to not just have to shoot outside, and I also wouldn't want to shoot inside every day. Each of them have their own challenges. Obviously, shooting on location, the biggest challenge is lighting and the weather, which you have pretty much no control over either of them. So that's the biggest struggle for there. But it's also, it's a fun challenge to try and overcome. And I shot a wedding once up in Saskatoon, and it was an early spring wedding, and they wanted it there so they could get pictures on the beach without going too far away. It was in May, I think. It poured rain and snowed and hailed all day long. And that bride was like, I want pictures on the beach. So I had them out there in a really classy black umbrella that I have, the bride and the groom only, and we played in the rain on the beach all afternoon. She must have been so cold, but had a blast. Shooting inside, I can obviously control all of that, can control the lighting. The more difficult thing is I find most people are less comfortable inside in a studio situation. So it's a matter of finding props and poses and things like that that will make them feel more comfortable. Yep, you betcha. Perfect. And then I just want your hands either on your hips, on your legs, just give me a little bit of attitude there. I know you've got it. Stand in front of a fan all the time, right? Down a little bit. All of my wedding packages also include an engagement shoot. And I feel that that's really important so they get an idea of how I work as a photographer, and then I also get an idea of how they work together. They also get a better idea of what type of pictures they like and what they don't like. I really try and focus on the interactions between the people to capture the emotions, especially of a wedding day, to try and capture all of the emotions that everybody's going through that day and the interactions between those people. So I try to have it be a very casual and relaxed setting. There is some structure to it, but I try and really focus on just getting them to interact and to be themselves. And that's how I'm able to get those shots that are really natural looking, because it is natural. A big portion of what I do that's not weddings, so I call it my studio work, although a lot of it will still take place on location. A big part of it is boudoirs, which I have tons of fun shooting, and I keep it all fun and classy. Next to that, I probably do a lot of maternity and a lot of newborn shoots as well. I also do families, grads, couples. I really like the variety of, you know, one day I'll do a boudoir, and then the next day I've got a baby, and then I've got a couple, and then I'm doing a family reunion, and keeping it different. I can always shoot at different places, and to meet so many different people too, and to be a part of their life and a part of those special moments in their life. There are some clients that I have that kind of anytime something big is happening in their life, I'm their person that they call to come capture those moments. And there's clients that I have that I've probably shot or worked with, you know, 5 or 6 times so far, and it's really nice to be able to watch how they grow in their lives and in their families, and to watch their kids grow and stuff like that is so much fun. And just to be the person that gets to capture all of those different moments. So. Soft little smirk. Perfect. That's it.
Look how roomy these are. It's a party on wheels. So Derek, now that they've seen your incredible service, how can they reach you? How can they get in touch with you?
They can call 531-4814 or visit us on the web at cdlimo.com.
cdlimo.com. So I'll tell you what, let's get this party started right now, okay? Because after all, these are your stories. You're in the driver's seat on this show. So until next time, buckle up, and we'll see you right here on Max Magazine. Woo! Let's go!